Hi, welcome to Ask a Puppy Trainer Show. This is episode number
181.
Yes, please put your comments down below. Include the age and breed of your dog. This is Lily. Since we started kind of having energy, she's a little shaky, but look how adorable she is. Oh my goodness. I think we're going to give her a break. If I was able to focus on her, I'd be able to relax her and chill her out. But since, you know, our voices kind of go up and down and we're all over the place, it's not,
Lily.
Not the best timing. But that is one adorable dog. I love Papillons. Do you think she's full Papillon?
She's full Papillon.
I love
That's
Papillons.
the first Papillon we've had in like 6 years.
It's the ears. I love
They're
the
like
ears.
little radars.
So cute.
All right, I'm going to start with Miss J. Kelly.
Okay, we're going to dive right in.
Miss Jake. Oh yeah, if you have any questions, please put them in the chat.
Yep.
We will always prioritize a question in the chat if it relates to the question you just read because we love the back and forth. It feels so much more personal. All right, from Miss J. Kelly. At what age do puppies start self-regulating their naps? If you've given a good amount of structure and then you're falling away from structuring it as often throughout the day, I would say 6 to 8 months if I've done structure schedules to get them to that point. If I haven't done structure schedules, I mean, it could take 1.5 years to 2 years. They may never self-regulate their naps. They just do it when they're tired. But when they're tired doesn't necessarily mean self-regulating. Self-regulating means they do it before they get exhausted, before they get too tired. So outdoor dogs where they have a sun and a moon cycle, and that's actually like regulating their body as well. I think a farm dog could do it, no problem. I think an inside house dog would really struggle to, and I think it would take years. What do you think on that?
I don't really see, unless they have a calm, relaxed, easygoing nature from a genetic standpoint, I don't really see puppies regulate their own naps. So
Yeah, they said puppies.
I mean, they'll go and go, and then they'll get overtired and bitey and grouchy. If I'm not like, okay, we're done, I'm gonna put you in a quiet space, which is crate or playpen when the kids aren't running around to, you know, go and take a rest. So I'm not really sure.
I gotta be honest, I disagree with what I said before because puppies specifically don't really self-regulate.
Well, you said 7-8 months.
I know,
yeah.
but like even with the schedule, you're still helping them have downtime by doing place command.
Yeah.
Even at 6 to 8 months with a lot of structure training, unless you have that extremely genetically calm dog.
Yeah.
But most dogs are not going to be like that. I'd say a very high percentage would not do that.
Wait, where's that other sheet? Okay,
Behind them.
so I see your Instagram questions and I'm gonna get to them, but there's a really important question that I have to get to first.
Oh my Lord. We had the same answer.
I don't think so. Olivia says,
Olivia Moose, I'm coming for you guys. I know where you live.
I'm on Bethany's side. Look into your dog's diet if they're eating poop. Holistic vets have taught me that eating poop usually initiates because in their diet something is missing. We were talking about the fermentation.
I agreed with that, Olivia. All I'm saying is that it becomes a habit after the initial eating of poop. Then it's no longer about diet because you can change diet, they keep going for it, then it's habit. But yes, I agree in the beginning.
Start examining what they're eating. Fermented foods are great for gut health. Thank you, Olivia.
That's actually interesting.
I totally agree. That's how it is with humans. So why wouldn't it be that way with dogs?
What's a fermented food that dogs can eat, though?
Well, there's yogurt. But remember I told you, he doesn't even remember. This is his brain, guys. Remember I told you I bought something specifically that is geared towards the dog's gut to add fermentation or fermented foods, bacteria into the gut that's supposed to help with grass and poop eating.
Kefir, carrots,
Kefir.
beets.
Kefir.
Is it kefir?
I think it's kefir. I think weird, like, it's weird. I don't know.
I dated a girl and she drank this stuff.
These are the Instagram gurus. They're like, kefir.
A girl I dated called it, dang, I can't even remember the right word now.
Well, she's
you
probably
changed it. You said it so many times.
She's probably from the Midwest.
Kefir?
Because that's how I used to say. I was like, kefir. And my husband was like, no, that's not how you say it.
We should move on.
I'm just saying. Okay.
Broccoli, cottage cheese. There are a lot of good foods that you can feed a dog.
And
I looked
kefir.
up fermented foods for dogs. So if you want to get a list, check that out. Make sure it's got cited sources by a medical professional.
Do you feel better now?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
A little bit.
He did all of that to make himself feel better, just so you know.
I had to make sure.
Even though last week
important.
he laughed at me when I was talking about fermented foods for dogs. You laughed at me. That's what she said.
That's what she's agreeing. She's agreeing with your fermented foods thing. I totally agree. I had no idea about fermented foods.
You laughed at me last week.
Well, it's because Who would think about that?
Okay. Me, who's raising a baby with excellent gut health. I
I'm
thought
gonna
about
smile, nod my head. Please move on.
that. Okay. Tonian, that's definitely probably not what you intended, says, to me anon. Okay.
Tonian.
I just got a 7 1/3 week. Sorry, I'm laughing at you. I just got a 7-week-old mini doodle. Have been working on training her for outside potty. Anything else we should start?
Outside potty.
Wait, what are you doing? Did you read the question? Anything else I should start?
Well, I know. Oh, sorry. Okay. Yeah, I did not read the question.
Our online program.
Yeah.
Online
to one
program
word.
somewhere. I mean, you want to get Ricky. It's my boss.
Why would you direct them somewhere
I'm not
else? Because this is the best program.
There's a lot of great programs out there,
Do
but
you know
we
that-
are the best.
Do you know of any good programs out there?
I do. But I still think our program is the best.
But we have looked at those programs
Yes.
and tried to make ours we did make ours even better, and we're always continuing to make it better as well. We were just talking about that today, tweaks that we're going to make. So anyway, you need to get into a program. You need to be following some sort of criteria to keep you on track, unless you have experience with actually that's not true. Even if you've raised 10 dogs, trainers
Every dog's
seek
different.
out other trainers, like to remind themselves and to create a schedule of what they're working on and what windows that they need to be focusing on. Does their dog need more control with play, with working on basic obedience, with following them around, with food drive? Like there's just thresholds. There's just so many aspects that you want to target, and a program can simplify that for you. You can check out thepuppyacademy.com. We have our own program.
What everyone always looks for when they're training a dog is you have to think of a style that you're looking for. We are a very general style, meaning that we do focus on a lot of positive reinforcement, but our program goes over all the basics and starts getting into some of the advanced stuff at like the early adolescence phase. That's what separates our program.
And it focuses on body language communication as well as the positive reinforcement, which makes it balanced.
I know a dozen programs out there that teach everything we teach, but they don't go over what the dog's brain is thinking. That is one of the biggest differences.
And they don't go over what to do when the dog is making mistakes.
Oh yeah, that was the hardest part about shooting our program.
Yeah, because it was long and tedious.
And they don't get access to you guys every single week for an entire
And
year.
you don't get access to us every
No, they
Wednesday
do.
at 4
No,
p.m.
no, they-
And you guys don't, but they would. They would. They do.
Okay, we're moving on.
I'm so scared of Ricky right now.
The short version.
You don't want this to end today.
The short version is
That's my nervous laugh.
don't focus so much on like sit down, stay calm. Work on follow me, which is kind of like come, but work on follow me around for food, stopping at thresholds, but focus on like move when I move, stop when I stop. Move when I move, stop when I stop. And then don't follow me, which we like to utilize place for that. And they don't have to sit her down. That's too much. Just be on this cot and don't follow me right now. And then proper play. You focus on those for a month and you will have the best dog.
It's solid boundaries. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's setting a really, really good start.
Okay. Laura Michelle Collins says, 1-year-old golden retriever. So we're no longer dealing with a puppy. We are dealing with a full-blown adolescent dog.
That's like having like a young adult 18-year-old.
Yeah. He's been great with impulse control, but there's always a but, that's why you're here. But he started barking at dogs when they walk by. I've never let him say hi on leash, so I'm not sure what to do. All issues happen all issues happen through adolescence a lot of times. You're just dealing with some extra energy, some confusion, some frustration on the leash. He's probably like, I want to act naturally. I want to go say hi. And in this world, we're not letting them. So a way to curb that is you really got to make yourself number one and be more important than the dog across the street. The way we do that is with movement, and sometimes movement and food, and sometimes movement and a little correction or spatial pressure. So let me break down those things really quickly. One is let's go work. So it's like the moment the ears perk up, not when they're barking, you're too late and you got to just get out of there. The moment they're like, let's go, complete 180, complete eyesight change. Get their attention back. Then continue to work them, and the dog is on the outside. Then continue to work them, preferably for food if he can focus. If he can't, then you're just pure leadership based and you're trying to do it that way. I think you should learn inside turns where you actually guide back with the leash if needed and turn in towards your dog. You aim for right in front of the shoulder. That's the spatial pressure I was talking about. And you can help your dog de-escalate by taking more control over the moment by doing inside turns.
Learned behaviors too. A lot of the barking that your dog's doing is probably a learned behavior. Heard from another dog barking at him walking down the street.
Yeah.
So that prevention that she was talking about, that redirection she was talking about, it's not just if your dog's reacting and barking, it's if another dog's doing it to him from even across the street. We still want to move to the side a little bit. I tell all of our clients, the more you control on a walk, the less your dog needs to. So if a dog barks at him and it makes him uncomfortable, we don't wait until he barks back and react. We start moving to prevent whatever further reaction could happen with your dog because of that dog.
Prevention is not avoidance. And it's not just distracting
Avoidance
them.
is a Band-Aid. Prevention is teaching.
Right. And so keep that in mind. When he says that, that's not avoidance and it's not just, distracting them. So you really are still working on the issue.
You're helping your dog de-escalate.
Right. When they're still in a learning state. Because if they've already started barking, they are no longer in a learning state.
If you've ever heard us reference, well, probably me, over threshold, that's barking, that's pulling, that's lunging, that's nipping.
Yeah. And they are no longer gone. And they're no longer in a learning state. When you catch them thinking about it, they're still in a learning state and you can teach them what to do instead.
Also, dogs barking next to your home. If your dog stays in the backyard a lot and there's a barking dog as a neighbor, even a couple houses down, that can also trigger the barking habit. It's just a learned habit. One dog barks, another dog barks, the third dog barks, and it's now a learned habit.
Do we have any TikTok questions?
Yeah, we just had a good one about food.
Do you want to hop on? I'm going to...
TikTok turned off.
You got access to it quick?
My
I hope
puppy
so.
is not food motivated. What should I do? I even try other treats and he doesn't care for it.
My puppy's not food motivated. What do I do? Tried treats.
We got to build some food drive.
Yeah, I would say the first thing I would do is I would skip a meal and then even maybe skip the next meal and the next meal. But let me explain. I'm not just skipping it. I'm offering my dog their food to work with me. If they don't want it, then I'll just pull it away and we'll try again on the next one. By a couple of days, your puppy will be fine unless they're underweight. By a couple of days, they should be starting to eat food out of your hand and you've got food drive. That does not mean that food drive is going to be enough to work on outside distractions.
You'll have to build up to that.
But it is going to be enough to get the foundation in the house first. And then you will have to, in my opinion, there are still some puppies that will not take food outside. Even when you build food drive. Unless you build a maniac, which I don't even want to do.
I know, and I'm thinking...
This is an exception. This is not very many puppies. So
it's one of those things that if someone wants to do a positive program, a positive reinforcement only program,
True.
which means mainly food work, 100%
100% food
There
work,
is no body blocking corrections, there's nothing.
And there is no weaning off food in those programs.
You basically have to build so much food drive that it's more important than anything they see outside.
Yeah, and space. You provide lots of space from things.
But now I'm going to let Bethany talk about what it does to the dog's brain, because this is really what she's good at.
It's my opinion.
She's like the brain trainer.
I do think that every dog is different, but for me, I don't want to, rely solely on that for my dog to listen to me outside. I think it can although I know it can create a crazy dog. It can also help you with control. But for us, I don't know how old your puppy is. You didn't say. So for us, we like to do food training with the puppies. As they get to be in adolescence, we're already using spatial pressure with puppies too, but as they get to be in adolescence, we are relying more on body language communication, spatial pressure, leash guidance, leadership, things.
12 weeks.
12 weeks. So you're still
baby.
So you're still in the baby zone. So you are still doing a lot of food work, but we transition more into body language stuff. And then as they get older, they can start to have accountability that lands and lasts for their choices and wean off of food Unless there's a fear situation, that's an exception.
We focus on you becoming more believable with your hand commands, with your verbal commands, with your body, with your leash. You become that leadership figure. They don't look to you for one thing, they look to you for everything.
For us, it is worth it to really try to build food drive by skipping the few meals, at least in the house. But I have seen a lot of puppies that no matter what we do, unless we really starve them, which we're not interested in doing, it doesn't transition to outside. But you need to get those fundamentals inside. Then you're going to have to learn another skill a little sooner than you might have liked to, of leash handling, energy. What's your affection look like? When are you sharing affection? Are you being permissive in the home? Things like that. You're going to have to really deep dive more into that more quickly than some other clients that have a ton of food drive and a ton of focus. So take that,
Or a
lab. Or a Labrador.
Or a lab.
So take that for what it's worth, and hopefully, I don't want to give you too much information, but hopefully that kind of gets your mind in the right place. All right, Big Bane the Staffie. I like Staffies. How to handle the adolescent phase. Oh, for a Staffie, it's like you got a shark baby. Baby shark, do 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 do, baby shark. Okay, my 6-month-old Staffie has started some sleep regression. Oh my God, it's like a baby.
That's 6 months?
Yeah, it's the 6-month-old sleep regression, but we're talking about a dog. Waking up earlier than usual. Sorry, I don't mean to laugh at you, but I just had a client doing the same thing, 6-month-old Dalmatian. And doing
Dalmatian.
things, doing things that he used to not do, like steal socks and not listen and bite.
Let me read that one.
Okay. Lean up.
Thank you.
I have to remind him to lean up because when Josh does like the close-up edits, he's like, you see his forehead. Okay,
It's a
so
beautiful forehead. I don't know.
it is a beautiful
Receding
forehead.
hairline and everything.
Okay, so there's a lot to unpack there. Staffie. Okay, how do I want to start with this? Sorry if I sound weird. I have cough drops in my mouth. Okay. I want to work with you so bad. I just want to work with you and do.
We read stuff like this for a Staffie especially, which we both love.
Because
we want you to be a client.
But there's also, I have a very high level of expectation for a Staffie for good reason.
We have to.
For very good reason. So, because of the breed. And it's not just a stigma around the breed. There's a stigma around the breed for a reason. And so that's why I want to dive into all the things with you, but I can't. So the short version is, to just help you understand why this is happening to you or anybody else, if you already know. You had the cute little baby that loved mommy. You had them in the baby mode where they follow you around and they think the sun rises and sets on you.
They're so good at it.
They are, because they're so people oriented, right? They're like wiggle, 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 wiggle. Ooh, sit, and oh, okay, don't follow you right now. And then it will come, and they're so happy to just live life with you. And then they're a teenager. And it happens fast, like 5, sometimes even 4 months old.
I
But
watch
5,
it happen overnight too.
5, 6 months old, and they're like, screw you, slam the door. I'm hanging out with my friends, and there's nothing you can do about it. And I don't want no curfew. You know, what are you going to do to me if I come home late? Then you get into all of that phase, okay? And that's what you're dealing with. And I just have to say, you probably already know this. That's why you're here. But I just have to say, the adolescent phase, guys, it ruins dogs. It ruins dogs because owners don't adapt and they don't get help. So I really encourage you, with the list you gave me, to get some one-on-one help right away to adapt very quickly to the phase that you're in. Because do you have head control or are you still on harness? Do you have food? Do you have some food control on the walk? Is he taking food from you when a dog walks by? Or is he only looking at the dog and he could care less about food? Maybe food's not the right route to go, but it does kind of tell me, what's the foundation look like, right? Do you know what to do when your Staffie bites you? Because your Staffie, your Malinois, your Corgi, like there's so many breeds that are really prone to mouthing more than other breeds. Staffie's one of them, except they
do what we call baby shark. Air snaps.
Yep, just like Malinois. Malinois are the other breed that do that.
Our Pitty walks up to us in the morning and wakes us up with air snaps.
Mm-hmm. She's telling
very
you
well
she's
trained,
happy.
so we know. But yeah, anyone else that would make them very nervous, probably.
Yeah, but for good reason, because then they also use that when they're frustrated and they start biting skin and holes in clothes and going after things in another 6 months. That's what we see. And that's why we're kind of being so serious about this.
When you mentioned the trainer, I want to just layer on that a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead.
You're looking for a balanced dog trainer that has worked with puppies and is working with puppies who are going through adolescent stages. Because the two things that I read on that one, I think it was stealing socks and not listening.
Yeah.
Those are the two that when I hear that, I'm like, okay, so he's starting to test boundaries more.
So we need more structure.
And he's not listening. That is where behavioral issues could start popping up.
They do pop up.
I know, I was trying to be a little bit nice.
I'm not being nice at the Staffie.
Well, then I'm being a little nice. They could, probably will. Bethany says will pop up, and they probably will. And this is just to reverse them or help get your pup on the right path sooner rather than later. Mm-hmm. If you go through 2 trainers and one of them's not the right one, that might be the window where your dog crosses that line. So get it sooner rather than later. Balanced dog trainer, that's what you're looking for. Works with puppies.
You need to learn how to de-escalate arousal in a way that's conflict-free. And you need to learn to de-escalate arousal through a correction, but then also build that great relationship where your dog can be in drive, play, tug, 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 out, immediate drop of the toy, right? You're out on a walk, sees a squirrel, out, immediate disengagement. Like that's what you're looking for. So you have all these different areas that you're wanting to target with an adolescent dog that is starting to have a lot of fun in life on their own, right? We've got the calmness, we've got learning the leash handling skills, potentially correction, but also how to de-escalate conflict-free, and then how to use high drive obedience work, like come down, like all the fun stuff, in a high drive fun way, but then also hit calmness level very quickly and have a really good out. An out of a toy and an out of disengaging. You can call it whatever you want. Sometimes we just call it no. But that's what you're looking for. You're looking for a program that targets these different aspects of raising an adolescent dog before it gets so bad where you're behind the energy and your relationship is damaged because of the bad habits your dog has developed. And I'm not talking directly to the Staffie. That's just in general, guys. We've had a few adolescent dog questions. That's just in general.
You just have a very powerful breed. So we're advising you it sooner rather than later.
Yep. And our seriousness is warranted. I mean, they banned XL bullies overseas. You guys think they haven't tried that in several spots in the States? They absolutely have. What do you think is after XL bullies? Bullies in general. And protection dogs. And I mean, it's just the list is going to go on. And so we kind of take it pretty seriously for good reason.
I got a couple good ones.
Yeah, do it.
This is a quick one. From Labek. I have a 6-year-old golden retriever. Is a puppy, golden, a good idea? As long as you set good boundaries, 6-year-old dog that's actually a pretty good time. I would say perfect age between 3 and 6 years old.
I agree.
3 years old, the dog is very mature and they're kind of in that adult life, the adult mindset. And then 6 years old, I wouldn't get one after personally. I just think that the 6-year-old turning into a 7-year-old, they don't really want puppy play anymore.
I agree. Now,
that's my personal preference.
Now, I've heard plenty of stories of like my elderly dog. I got a puppy, and they came back to life, and they were so much happier. Sometimes that's the case. More often than not, though, the puppy's annoying, especially when they get into the adolescence phase, and they kind of start abusing the older dog, and then there's conflict in the house.
The best setup I've seen happen is when there's a 6-year-old dog and then like a 10-year-old dog, and then they get a young puppy and they keep really strong boundaries and start socializing with the 6-year-old because the 6-year-old has an interest in playing with the puppy. That's usually a pretty good setup, and the 10-year-old kind of just wakes up a little bit more. There's more energy in the house, and it can liven them up a little bit. I've seen it as well with quite a few dogs. But with the triple dog setup, that's when I see it works best. Yeah, well, not with a young dog and a 10-year-old.
Yeah, it's not exactly your question, sorry, but we're just talking about if anybody has an elderly dog out there. We're just trying to add context to why we wouldn't do it with an elderly dog. But a 6, 7 would be my cap, honestly, unless I really wanted to put a ton of work into structure more than normal. That would be my cap. So cool. Anything else?
One more after.
Okay.
Ooh. Vilti, I won't even try to pronounce the last name. I'd butcher it. Bring in a Cockapoo home on Sunday. How do I start crate training? You go to our crate training masterclass.
You can't.
Why not?
It's in our online school.
Oh, it's now. It used to be, sorry, for a window of time it was available to people. Now it's in our online school. So instead.
Where's my skeleton?
So what?
We don't have a skeleton anymore.
Would you
Go, you go.
So why don't you hop on thepuppyacademy.com, check out our online school, see if you're interested. It is very thorough and you get direct access to us. That is much more thorough than what we do here on the lives. Okay. With that being said, you want to crate train the moment, like your dog is going to sleep, your puppy is going to sleep in crate tonight. Don't hold your puppy all night, feed, potty, and then put them in crate. Go ahead and see if they'll follow food around or put some pieces of food on the floor or try a toy. Like go ahead and try to see what they're like their first night. If they're kind of nervous and unsure, just let them be in an area that's secured like a playpen. Don't coddle them all night because they're a little unsure. And because that will be so confusing to do.
It's the worst thing you could do.
It's the worst thing you can do for a lot of different reasons. But one of the reasons is they need to go ahead and sleep alone. So it's not really fair to do this and then be like, okay, here's your crate. It doesn't make sense to them.
They're saying, why the heck would I sleep when I was just getting held?
Yeah. So go ahead and do crate right away. But you need to watch some crate videos or go ahead and hop on our online school. Because from day one, they shouldn't be coming out a crate door without permission. They should, oh, sorry, I hit my mic. They should already be waiting because they already know spatial pressure. Puppies, they already know it. They've been practicing it with their siblings and their mom, if it was a good mom. And it's us that screws up their understanding of the world and pressure with people. So we use the crate door to go ahead and have them be calm or at least wait before they come out. So you do that right away. And if they will take food from you, if you can get them to kind of follow food like a food lure or drop it on the ground, go ahead and start, we call it house, but you can go ahead and start doing house, food in the kennel. They walk in, they walk right back out. Food in the kennel, 10 times. Then shut the door and work on calm at the door. Do that separate than when you just put them in there tonight. So you work on it 3 minutes. Like that's it, 10 pieces of food. Then you have a break, do it one more time if you have time before the dog goes to bed. That's how I would do it.
Yes. That's perfect. You
guys.
go way more into the basics of that beginning part. I love that part.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. And we have one more thing. One more thing, because we promised you. One more thing.
Well, we have two more things.
No, not there. It's the holidays, and I'm not here next week. And maybe you're not here next week. I don't know.
Did you do the special one?
That's what I was trying to point out. She yelled at me for it.
At the beginning?
All right. We have a special announcement, and then we have my thing.
This will be the last show of 2024, and we will be back on Wednesday, January 8th.
Well, that answers my question. Okay, since this is the last show of 2024, and we'll see you back on January 8th, I want you guys to know you do not have to force your puppies to be part of the party.
Oh, yeah.
Especially if there's alcohol involved, okay? So please don't feel bad to crate your puppies double the time that they're used to. Just give them a white noise machine or a fan, play the radio on top of that, put the white noise machine at the door to block out, Uncle Tom's crazy antics.
It's always Uncle Tom.
And then play radio or something inside, and then just have your dog crated, covered crate, dark room. Try not to, interrupt them too much. Mm-hmm. Double the crate time. If you want to work with them on leash with food a couple minutes while the family's there before everybody starts drinking, perfectly fine. But they probably don't want to be a part of that anyway. And even if they do, it's going to wreak a lot of havoc on your dog's system. And so I'm just telling you that if you don't want to have the working mindset of like, what would a trainer do? Your puppy's not ready to be a companion and be that social and have those limitations yet. So you don't have to feel bad about crating them extra. You're actually helping them by doing that.
Give them potty halfway through though. If you double crate time, potty at the halfway point.
For puppies, yeah, absolutely. All right, guys, happy holidays. Love you guys.
Wow, you said love.